Hi, Mrs. Hensley's friends. We are going to write the letter N. That says N. We are writing uppercase and lowercase, okay? So let's get started. And as you'll watch, Mrs. Hensley will be writing an uppercase and a lowercase, and then I'll put a finger space because you probably don't have room for 2 finger spaces, and then I'll do another uppercase and lowercase N. So I just need you to watch, Mrs. Hensley. I do need my pencil, and you do not have to use black or gray if you don't want your pencil. Mrs. Hensley, now if we were in the classroom, we would have to use a certain color, but we would have to use a pencil color. But since we have this little cool tool on our seesaw, then you can use any color you would like, okay? Okay, so here we go. Mrs. Hensley is going to use blue. Okay, so we're going to start writing our uppercase N and our lowercase n, and we know that N says N, okay? So I want you to watch Mrs. Hensley. Now you're going to also trace your uppercase N and lowercase n on these two that are showing on there, but I want you to watch Mrs. Hensley, okay? I'm going to start at the skyline, and I'm going to go down to the grass line. Then I'm going back up to the skyline, and I'm going to slide down the slide to the grass line. Okay? Then I'm going to start back up at the skyline, back down and connect to that N. Okay? That uppercase N. Now watch Mrs. Hensley on the lowercase n. I'm going to start at the plain line this time and make a straight line down. Then I'm going to go back up that line and around to the plain line and back down to the grass line. Mrs. Hensley does not want to see any of this. Okay, I don't want to see that. I will be watching to see if your lowercase n looks like that. Do you see how Mrs. Hensley went back up the line? That's what Mrs. Hensley did, and that's what I want you to do. Watch again. Straight line down, back up that line, and around. Okay? That's what I want. I do not want to see any of this. Okay? I don't. And I also don't want to see you starting from the bottom going up and bottom going around this way. I will be watching to see what I see. Okay? Mrs. Hensley is going to start with a red pencil now, and I'm going to trace the uppercase N that is already there. Start at the skyline, make a straight line down to the grass line. Okay, then we're going to go back up to the skyline and slide down the slide to the grass line. Then we're going to go back up to the skyline and make a straight line down. Oh, Mrs. Hensley didn't do so good, so I'm going to erase and try again. That's the good thing about writing with a pencil. Okay, let's try that again. Straight line down to the grass line. Start back up at the skyline. Now I'm going to slide down the slide. How fun. And then I'm going to go back up to the skyline and connect my N. Doesn't look the greatest, Mrs. Hensley. Sometimes we make mistakes, and that's okay. I'm going to fix that mistake. Okay? Oh, see, I'm going to have to erase the whole thing. Is it okay to make mistakes? Of course it is. That's how we learn. Straight line down to the grass line. Back up to the skyline, slide down the slide, and back up to the skyline and connect back to the grass line. Okay, now a lowercase n, I'm starting at the plain line, and I'm not going over the plain line. Watch Mrs. Hensley, straight line down, around, back down to the grass line. Okay, Mrs. Hensley's turn to make her own, and see I'm changing colors, and that's okay as long as you're taking your time and writing neatly. Start at the skyline, down to the grass line. Go back up to the skyline, and now we're going to slide down the slide. And then we're going to go back up to the skyline, down to the grass line. Okay? Now we're starting at the plain line, straight line down. Did you see that? You're not picking up your pencil. Mrs. Hensley only picked up her pencil to show you. Okay? Let me go back. Straight line down to the grass line, up and around to the plain line, back around. Just like that. Now I'm going to put my finger right after my lowercase n. I'm going to put my finger there. Oops, I made a mark. I'm going to put my finger there. So I've got some space. I'm going to start my uppercase in here. Straight line down to the grass line. Go back up to the skyline. Slide down the slide. Back up to the skyline, down to the grass line. Oops, Miss Sidley didn't do so good on that one. It was not touching that grass line. So I'm going to try again. Straight line down to the grass line. Back up to the skyline, slide down. Then start at the top and connect. Make sure they connect. See, Mrs. Hensley's is not connecting, so I need to erase. Okay, not connecting. So, it's hard to do it with a stylus, and Mrs. Hensley understands that. It's hard to do it with a stylus because I'm using a pen and my stylus is moving. Your stylus is probably not moving as much as Mrs. Hensley. Okay, straight line down from the plane line, going back up over, around to the grass line. Okay, now I'm going to write with a different color because I can. You guys, I'm your guy. You guys can change your color too if you would like. Okay, here we go. But if we were writing with pencil, we wouldn't be able to change our color, would we? Okay, here. Straight line down to the grass line. Go back up to the skyline. Slide down the slide. Go back up to the skyline. Straight line down to the grass line. Okay? Now lowercase n. Straight line down from the plane line to the grass line. Go back up that line around to the grass line. Okay? Finger space. Only one because these aren't very big lines. Straight line down to the grass line. Go back up and we're going to slide down the slide. Straight line to connect those lines. Start at the plane line. Go back up over your line, around over to the plane line, and back down to the grass line. Okay, you guys, remember, none of this, none of that, none of this. I want, watch, this, back up over that line, just like that, okay? And I also don't want this. Okay, I want straight line down, slide down the slide, back up and down. Don't want this, okay? I know Mrs. Hensley's picky, and tell your parents, I'm sorry I'm picky because I am sending back your handwriting page if it doesn't look all that great. If I don't think that you really, really took your time, then Mrs. Hensley is going to send it back. Also, parents, if you're watching this, or adults, adult family members, grandmas, grandpas, whoever's watching this, aunts, uncles, whoever's doing this with your child, please, 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 if they are doing something correctly and I send it back telling them it looks like they've done something differently and they did it the way Mrs. Hensley asked them to, just send me a voice message back or type me a note and let me know. I do not have a problem with parents, telling me otherwise. If I've made a mistake, I will definitely send you back a note on that, okay? So if they're doing it correctly, and I've said that they haven't done it correctly, and you knew that they had because you watched them, I would be more than happy to get a voice recording back from you, or just a quick little typed up message letting me know, okay? My friends, have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.